The most consistent tone of Trump-era conservatism is whining. Donald Trump is the biggest whiner, the biggest whiner I've ever encountered in life. It's what he does, all he does, moan, complain about his media coverage, the rigged election, yada, yada, yada. The entire right-wing universe around him has taken up the same tone. I mean, just constantly whining, whinging about all the affronts and the indignities that they, in some cases, some of literally the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world have endured. And that's the reason they're all extremely excited about the news, which I'm sure you've seen, that the world's richest man, Elon Musk, has reached a deal to buy Twitter.
A good news show, don't get those too often. Elon Musk bought Twitter today.
Twitter. It's in Elon Musk's hands. Can you believe it?
Musk's purchase of Twitter is the single biggest political development since Donald Trump's election in 2016.
Count this one as a victory for free speech.
He's going to take it private, signaling a return, hopefully, to free speech principles.
And he may, in fact, save the town square.
Okay. Let's put aside the coded meaning of free speech. We can get to that later. But it's a little weird how psyched they all are. Like, calm down, guys. Like, it's cool. Like, a rich guy bought a social media platform. You can sense the palpable feeling of excitement in those moments of celebration. And it might seem weird, but to understand that joy about this individual billionaire buying a social media company, you have to understand how this strange, very whiny worldview has come to dominate the right wing. In that world, people on the right are now classifying every institution in American life as either our team or their team, as if there's like a ledger, right? And the essence of modern MAGA-era conservatism is bemoaning the fact that, in their mind, every institution in American life has moved from our team to their team.
Yet another big American company going woke, Disney.
The woke world of Disney exposed.
Newly leaked videos show just how woke Disney has gone.
The NFL has become totally liberal. Everyone knows it.
Look, the NFL is just going further and further woke.
F the NFL. They're exploitive. They're anti-American. They're 1,000% woke.
The Pentagon is now the Yale Faculty Lounge, but with cruise missiles.
Unfortunately, story after story of the woke Pentagon comes.
The Pentagon is under the spell of corporate America. And contrary to what Austin said in that hearing, it's gone totally woke.
I mean, look at these cosseted millionaires with like the plumbest job you could possibly get, which is like talking on television for a living. I mean, I get it, right? Like whining about, oh my God, everyone's against us. And if you ask me to choose institutions I would never describe as liberal or woke, I don't know, the top three might be Disney, the NFL, and the Pentagon. But the constant message coming from right-wing media, particularly Fox News, that everything is being taken away from you. Every institution is no longer yours. It's all being run by the libs who have colonized your mind and your culture. Now, if you view the world that way, one way to deal with that is through creating your own culture. You might even call it counterculture, right? When you feel alienated from the mainstream. In my youth, in the aughts, a lot of leftists felt that way about the establishment media, rightly, in the era of 9/11, Iraq War. But while there's some notable successes on the right for creating counterculture, when they have tried to build their own institutions, they have tended to flame out in spectacular fashion. Here's an example. Nowhere is this more true than the great promised alternative to Twitter called Truth Social. You might remember last October, Donald Trump announced he was creating the new platform, quote, to stand up to the tyranny of big tech after they kicked him off all major social media for, well, fomenting a violent coup. And because he's a business genius, Trump tapped a former dairy farmer with zero tech experience to run the company, Republican Congressman Devin Nunes, who quit his job to turn Truth Social into what it is today, an unmitigated disaster. After a terrible rollout with users unable to join and post their truths, which is what they're calling the version of tweets, Trump himself has still not even formally joined the platform, although he says he will begin posting over the next week and will not be going back to Twitter, even if Elon Musk allows it. But of course, that's the part of the value he's trying to sell, right? Here's the thing. Ultimately, there is an inherent tension between the cultural environment and worldview that produces broadly successful and popular institutions and the just like pathological grievance politics of the hard right faction of the Republican Party, which has come to dominate. And so that's why they're so psyched. That's why they celebrate the Elon Musk purchase of Twitter as this kind of hostile takeover by one of their own. It's their dream for the right kind of billionaire to pull off a hostile takeover in an institution of American culture and wrench it back, right? What they believe is taken from them. One of their institutions coming back to our corner. Because they think Musk is one of them, like the pillow guy is. And he'll allow freedom for all sorts of whatever people want to post to come back to Twitter. But if he doesn't, will they turn on him too? Will they declare Elon Musk too woke, like the Pentagon is? At the heart of all of this is the fact that their catechism of victimization has gotten so long, so baroque, so impossible to retain in one brain. Their sense of grievance so extreme and ever expanding. They have managed to push themselves further and further from the center of American life, while at the same time decrying their own marginalization and distance from it. That is the perpetual grievance machine of right-wing politics, a never-ending supply of things to be angry and whine about, which makes some people a lot of money, as long as their audience never gets wise to the scam.